Hello YouTube, today I'm doing a video tutorial on how to make the desktop icons like this. Just simply click and notice it's not a bash file and it asks you if you run it, if you'd in terminal or whatever. It actually runs it like an icon. Reason I'm recording it with my phone, the first time I went to go capture the screen through terminal, it kinda messed it up. It starts there, and I'll look at that later. Anyway, to make a an icon like this, you simply make a desktop file. So it will be like blah dot desktop. Right there's the part that kind of matters the most. Dot desktop. Anyway, as you see, it automatically changes to this thing. That's like its default format there. But anyway, I'm not going to type a completely new one. I'm just going to show you the one I had already made with Spotify. I had made in the other tutorial, but that kind of messed up, so yeah. It's simple. Make sure in the end you have it set to be able to execute. Just check that box there. But anyway, to actually make the desktop entry, make that file I had told you about earlier, then go to your desktop. Okay, you're at your desktop where that file is now. You need to open it up in some sort of way you can edit it. Either you use Nano or whatever you use. I personally use gedit because I just like opening it up in a notepad instead of terminal to edit it, so it's just a bit easier for me. So yeah, just type that in, and then the file you want to open up, in which in our case would be it runs a script and it opens it up. Anyways, I'm pretty sure y'all already know about that. But anyway, to make the desktop entry file, you declare it as a desktop entry. There. It's the first version of this. You name it whatever. Yeah. Unless you have KDE4, I personally even wouldn't worry about this. As I said, I just copied it because I didn't feel like doing too much work. But anyway, yeah. Make a comment for it. In my case, listen to music. And what you execute is a little bit different than a bash file. So, yeah. Simply put in the location of the executable. 99% of the time, if it's something, you can go into terminal and type in our case, Spotify. And it goes to terminal like that. F12. It can simply be referred to within this path here, and then the location there. That's 99% of the time for most of the files we use. That, or it'll be under the actual bash or bin or whatever, but most of the time it'll be there. If not, just look around wherever the actual executable file is, it'll be right there. If you wanted to display terminal like there's an output for it, just change that to true. The actual icon file, you put in its location right there. Since we're doing this, we're all probably going to put application, and then any categories it may belong to that you want to put, and then there you go, all that written, you got a desktop entry file. Disadvantage, you've got to type all that, but you can just click on it and run it. Versus a bash file, yes, it's less work to make, but not as good in my opinion. I'll show you why. With this bash file, you simply open it up, and with what you want it to open. Okay, yeah, we're gonna open it up in bash script. In our case, we're gonna run the command which opens up your application. In our case, it's Spotify, or you can make it whatever, but y'all already know this. Like, for instance, Google Chrome. Okay, yeah, there you go. So, once it actually starts to do this, you can do that once it's actually finished the launch of the application. Save it. And as I said, its downfall, it may be shorter, but it's a little bit tackier. Yes, you can change the icon like this. Just click there, change its icon, whatever. I'm not going to use the Spotify icon for this, but yeah. But another reason it's not as good, the other one, you don't have to set the execution properties. With a bash file, we know you have to do chmod. Most of the time, just give it full property 775, and then to the file, I'm in my root directory, so I'm gonna go here to my desktop, and then the file I'm giving permissions to is called Spotify. Well, it's really launching Chrome, but I called it Spotify before I even thought of that, but done. Okay. It's another process there. And then what makes it, another reason it's worse is you run it and you get this little thingy here. I don't really like that, but yeah. Anyway, so in making desktop icons and launches from your desktop, you have two options: a desktop entry, like this one, and a bash file, like this one. So it's up to y'all. Each other advantages, disadvantages. This one has more writing the actual file, but everything like the execution is set up and it doesn't ask you every time you open it. This one, it's less writing in the file, but you have to set up the execution, and then it asks you every single time you open the file if you want to display it, open it in terminal, or just run it. But that's sometimes a good thing, like if you want to edit it. This one, as I showed you, you have to go through terminal and just run the edit command to open it up. So anyway, that's two ways to do it. Whichever way you like best, you can do it now. Alright, well, peace.